ties between us, all men and women living on the earth. Ties of hope and love, of sister and brotherhood. And we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound, we are bound.
There's a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There's a hunger in the center of the chest. There's a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest.
Shed a little light, oh
Shed a
Lord,
little light, oh Lord, oh,
so we can see.
so we can see.
Just a little light, oh
Just a
Lord.
little light,
Wanna stand it on up,
standing on up, yeah.
stand it on up,
Standing on Lord. Can we walk it on?
walk it on down.
Shed a little
Shed a little
light.
light, oh Lord. Can't get no light from a dollar bill.
Can't get no light from no dollar bill.
Don't give me no light from a TV screen.
Oh, no, no, no.
When I open my eyes, I wanna drink my fill from the well on the hill.
And I know you know what I mean.
Shed a little light, oh Lord,
Shed a little light, oh
so we
Lord.
can see.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord. Can we stand it on
Wanna
up?
stand it on up,
Yeah.
stand it on up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord,
Oh, Lord, walk it on
walk it
down.
on down. Shed a little light, oh There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist.
There is a hunger in the center of the chest. Oh, no.
There is a passage through the darkness and the mist.
Oh, no. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest. Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King.
And recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth. Ties of hope and love, of sister and brotherhood.
Good morning and welcome everyone to the Martin Luther King Day service here at Goshen College. My name is Kennedy Stewart and I'm leader of the Black Student Union here at GC. I'm so happy to see all of you guys this morning. Yay. After the time we share here, we will begin with the Clean Singers doing Ella's song. We'll do a chant over to the RFC, where there'll be food, entertainment, and activities for everyone, as well as a really exciting raffle. The prizes are really exciting this year. I also, before we begin, want to give a big shout out to Sunitha. Can we all clap for her real quick? Not to put her on the spot, but she's been an amazing person for us. So thank you so much, and let's begin. Thank you.
If you would join me in prayer. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. We stand on the shoulders of those who pursued justice before us, and we pave the way for future generations. Let us be filled with strength and hope as we acknowledge what has been accomplished and recognize what lies ahead. May God grant us the love and passion required to pave the path ahead and invite others to join us. Let us be instruments of God's peace, representing the arc that bends toward a more just future for all. Amen.
And join us in Voices Together 611, singing Lift Every Voice and sing the Black National Anthem. Every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of
Good morning again. Once again, I'll introduce myself. I'm Kennedy Stewart. I'm the president of the Black Student Union. Today I want to talk to you about the paper bag test. So what is a paper bag test? What does it mean to a Black person that lived in the 1950s? And what implications and lasting impact does it still have on the Black community today? The paper bag test is in fact not an urban legend. In fact, this very bag was a difference between your acceptance or racial exclusion. If you were fairer or lighter than the bag, you were allowed in many social places, such as fraternities, sororities, and even certain church communities. While typically associated with white supremacist racial ideals, in fact, many that helped the testing were Black-run organizations and communities. In 1969, Henry Louis Gates Jr. was in attendance at Yale University as an undergrad. Within the first few weeks of arriving, he was invited to a bag party. At these gatherings, a normal paper brown bag was taped to the door. If you were darker than the bag, you were simply just denied entrance. The roots of this test stem from slavery. Some say it holds very close relations to the one-drop rule. This rule deemed that if you had any trace or a single drop of African blood within you, you were considered Black. In a time where skin color ruled and equated to your social status in the community, the Black community was faced with a divide, a three-way split. There were the free white population, the enslaved Black population, and then a third group. Often referred to as mixed race or biracial, a group that was in part free, but also a group that still faced the same social persecutions that largely weren't allowed to the many Black enslaved populations around them. Black communities used the paper bag test to emphasize colorist ideals. These ideals led to colorism. Apologies. Colorism, by definition, is a form of prejudice that occurs within the same racial or ethnic group. It is not limited to private social settings, but it spreads into the workplace, media, and reinforces harmful stereotypes, and it led to the creation of multi-billion-dollar companies such as skin bleaching industries. Colorism is still a modern issue. The entertainment industry is a prime example of this. If you think about the music industry right now, some popular names come to mind, such as Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Mariah Carey, and Rihanna. But what do all these people have in common? Simply their skin tone. While they have opened many doors for the community as a whole, it shut doors for others. Artists often hold music videos that showcase a collection of women, often with fair skin and straight hair. Take a moment to think. When's the last time you watched a music video with a Black artist where there was a woman who was dark-skinned with their natural kinky or coily hair out? Would this woman pass the paper bag test? To say you prefer lighter skin, deeming it as a preference, is also a very harmful stigma and statement in and of itself. These preferences lead to the exclusion of women that fall in any darker range shade. Colorism does not only impact the Black community, but the widespread access to music that it's had limits the narrative of Black individuals, and it turns to reinforce these harmful stereotypes. But the constant reinforcement of colorism also aids in creating the ideal version of what a Black person should be. From our hair, to our shade, to our height, to our athletic ability, our access to education, to job opportunities, internalized racism still lives here within our community. It is not a compliment to tell another Black person that they have good hair or compare their skin tones in relation to their privilege. It creates a divide in our community that was once united, and it leads to separation. The paper bag test left a lasting stain in the Black community. It is the direct reflection of slavery, Jim Crow, and the civil rights movement. However, this does not mean that Black is not beautiful. Our skin tones speak to who we are as individual people. Our cultures, where we come from, and unique experiences that make us who we are. Let's aim as a Black community and a community as a whole to create a future that breaks down these ideals and bridges our community back together and leads us to be, once again, intertwined. Thank you.
My name is Peace Muhagachi, and I'm representing the Advocates Club here at GC. Today, I want to take a moment to honor a man whose name doesn't always get mentioned in our history books, but whose contributions are foundational to the civil rights movement. Bayard Rustin. He was a trailblazer, a strategist, and a queer activist. Rustin stood at the intersection of many identities and causes, proving that justice is indivisible. Born in 1912 in Westchester, Pennsylvania, Bayard Rustin was raised by his grandparents, who instilled in him both a commitment to the Quaker values and a deep belief in the power of nonviolence. These principles shaped his life's work as he became one of the most brilliant organizers in the fight for equality. Rustin's influence is best known through his close partnership with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but his impact goes far beyond what many of us realize. As the chief organizer of the 1963 March on Washington, Rustin demonstrated his exceptional organizational skills. He brought together over 250,000 people in a massive, peaceful demonstration, which became a defining moment in American history. The I Have a Dream speech that was delivered by Dr. King that day may be etched into our collective memory, but it was Rustin's quiet brilliance behind the scenes that made the whole event possible. However, Rustin's contributions did not come without a personal cost. His identity as a gay man made him a target for prejudice, even within the very movement he helped to build. His sexuality was weaponized against him by opponents of civil rights, and at times even by the allies who feared his visibility would detract from the cause. Rustin, however, never wavered in his commitment to justice, nor did he hide who he was. His courage to stand in his truth while advocating for equality set an example that continues to inspire LGBTQ activists today. In 2013, more than 25 years after his passing, President Barack Obama posthumously awarded Rustin the Presidential Medal for Freedom. This long overdue recognition serves as a reminder of the vital role that he played, not just in shaping the civil rights movement, but in paving the way for a more inclusive vision of justice. As we reflect today on Bayard Rustin's legacy, let us take to heart his unwavering belief in the power of love and nonviolence. Let us honor his courage to fight for justice in the face of adversity, and let us continue his work by standing boldly at the intersections of our identities, knowing that we too can build a world where freedom and equality are truly for all. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alyssa McDonald, and I'm the Vice President of the IPEDA Association, which stands for the Asian Pacific Islander Desi American Association. Today, our section is titled Intersectionality, How Civil Rights Affects All of Us. One leader who embodies the spirit of intersectionality is Kiyoshi Kiramiya, a Japanese-American civil rights activist and anti-war activist whose life's work demonstrates the interconnectedness of the social justice movements. Kiramiya was born in 1943 at the Heart Mountain internment camp in Wyoming, where his family was forcibly relocated during World War II. Despite growing up amidst systemic oppression, he became a relentless advocate for equity and justice across multiple movements. Kiramiya served as a personal assistant to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and played a pivotal role in the civil rights movement. He was one of the few Asian Americans who traveled to Selma, Alabama to march for the rights of Black Americans, understanding that, as Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Kiramiya recognized that the fight for civil rights was not limited to one community. It was a universal cause that required solidarity across racial, cultural, and social boundaries. In addition to his work alongside Dr. King, Kiramiya founded the Gay Liberation Front in Philadelphia and was openly gay. He was an openly gay delegate at the Black Panther Party's convention, which endorsed the gay liberation struggle. His advocacy didn't stop there. He became a prominent figure in the fight against AIDS, helping to disseminate vital information to those affected. Kiyomiya also advocated for the legalization of marijuana as a part of a broader challenge to the oppressive systems. He participated in the historic 1963 March on Washington and stood unwavering in his belief that true justice requires collective action. Kiyomiya's life is a testament to the power of intersectionality, acknowledging how our identities and struggles are interconnected and the necessity of standing together against oppression in all its forms. As we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., let us also remember the words of Kiyoshi Kiyomiya. We must stand in solidarity with those who are marginalized and fight for their rights, even when it doesn't directly benefit us. Let his message remind us that we cannot afford to remain silent or complacent in the face of injustice. We must rise to the challenge, supporting one another and striving for a world where equity and freedom are not privileges, but universal rights. Thank you.
Of your land, when you need to take my hand, come into my arms, I'll keep you safe from harm, I'll keep your precious heart. Some people try to drag you down, take it from me, stand and be proud. You're a warrior, you're my warrior. Be who you are, be who you are. Know that life holds more than what you see. Rise up, little man, rise up, little man. Fight for you and me. Look into my eyes and believe. Little woman, we will fight, we will fight. Little woman, we will fight, we will rise. I see you in me. Take my hands and we will stand, we will fight, we will fight, we will stand, and together we will rise. They'll burn you at the stake if you don't act like they want you to. Oh baby, be yourself, do good and help the world. Be who you are, be who you are. Know that life holds more than what you see. Rise up, little man, rise up, little man. Fight for you and me. Look into my eyes and believe. Little woman, we will fight, we will fight. Little woman, we will fight, we will rise. I see you in me. Take my hands and we will stand, we will fight, we will fight, we will stand, and together we will rise. Rise up, little man. Don't be scared, I'm holding your hand. Know that life holds more than what we see and what we get. Rise up, little woman. Don't be afraid to risk it all. Know that life holds more than what we see and what we get. I will fight for you and me. Look into my eyes and believe.
My name is Angelica Garcia Ponce, and I am honored to speak on behalf of the LSU about how Dr. Martin Luther King's work has influenced our Latino community. I'd like to first start with a personal story. Over winter break, I visited my family in Mexico, and I had an amazing time, but I also experienced a great culture shock, especially with the strict gender roles. Men are expected to be the breadwinners, while women are expected to cook, clean, and care for the children. My family actually discouraged me from continuing my education here at Goshen College, suggesting marriage and motherhood should be my focus. While there is nothing wrong with these roles, I know I have much more to offer. So while reflecting on this experience, I think about the leaders who challenge such limits, like Dolores Huerta. While Cesar Chavez is often credited as the face of the Chicano movement, Huerta played an equally vital role. In 1962, she co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, fighting for fair wages and working conditions for agricultural workers, many of whom were Latinos. Despite facing both sexism and racism, she led boycotts and strikes, influencing labor laws, and advocating for women's rights. I resonate with Dolores Huerta because she proves that as a Latina woman, we have much to offer. We have intelligence, resilience, and strength. Her work shows that we too serve as important and prominent figures in our society. Huerta's work reflects the same values that Martin Luther King Jr. stood for: equality, justice, and service. Just as Dr. King fought for the rights of Black Africans, Huerta fought for the Latino community, using nonviolent resistance to challenge oppression. Dr. King's leadership in the civil rights movement inspired other marginalized groups, including Latinos, to demand justice and representation. To my fellow Latino community members, we must recognize and honor the groundwork laid by leaders like King and Huerta. Their fight is not just history, it is a movement that continues today in our struggles for racial, economic, and gender equality. As we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, let us carry forward the values of justice and activism in our communities. Thank you.
Good morning again. My name is Arlet Martinez. I am the co-founder and president of One Circle.
And my name is Demetrio Garcia, and I am the vice president of One Circle.
MLK had a vision for a beloved community where everyone could experience equity, belonging, and justice, regardless of their background. However, when we take a look at Indian country, this vision has not been achieved as cycles are repeating themselves across the United States. Tribes are fighting for their existence as their sacred lands are constantly under attack. The people of Red Mountain are fighting a lithium mine in Thacker Pass. Mauna Kea in Hawaii is threatened by telescopes. Bears Ears National Monument in Utah, Oak Flat in Arizona, and many others. Apache Stronghold is a nonprofit community organization founded by Dr. Winsor Nosey Sr. in St. Carlos, Arizona. Led by indigenous leaders, they work to defend freedom of religion and are dedicated to building a better community through connecting Apaches and other native and non-native allies across the world. They have been at the forefront of fighting for justice and care for all, including Mother Earth. As stated by an Apache Stronghold member, everyone thinks we are protected and taken care of in the government's mantra. We are not. We are tucked away and forgotten, dusty, and fighting for our lives. Their existence as Apache depends on the survival of Oak Flat, but this is not unique to one tribe, as many are fighting to protect their lands from exploitation and destruction. So what does justice look like? When they have to continually fight for their traditions and resist ongoing injustices. When is it enough? MLK had a vision of a beloved community, and for the Stronghold, it is about coming together as one drum, one prayer, one circle. Both of these visions centered around unity. This past summer, The Stronghold went on a spiritual convoy that took them across the country as they raised awareness to protect sacred sites. During this convoy, they visited churches, supporting tribes, and organizations, and along the way to Washington, D.C. As they traveled across the country, they were reminded of MLK's work as they stopped in Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of the civil rights movement and home of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, where MLK had served as a full-time pastor. Their convoy was centered around building relationships, as many gathered to share their stories of ongoing inequities. When they arrived in Washington, D.C., many gathered together for Oak Flat. Their background did not matter as they were present for a common cause as one beloved community. Though the vision is nowhere near being fulfilled, it is important to begin building relationships. There has been so much damage done that I often ask, whose job is it to fix it? And how do we do it? Take MLK's vision of community and that of the Stronghold. Build allyship, stand together, fight together, and become educated because many are exhausted in the fight for justice. But we are living, we exist, and we are here to stay. Together, as one, we can build a just community that honors the legacy of leaders like MLK, standing united.
And now I'm going to recite a poem for you guys. So the poem is titled A Song of Hope by Kath Walker. Look up, my people, the dawn is breaking, the world is waking to a bright new day, when none defame us, no restriction tame us, nor color shame us, nor sneer dismay. Now brood no more on the years behind you, the hope assigned you shall the past replace, when a juster justice, grown wise and stronger, points the bone no longer at a darker race. So long we waited, bound and frustrated, till hate be hated, and cast disposed. Now light shall guide us, no gold denied us, all doors open that long were closed. See plain the promise, dark freedom lover, night's nearly over, and though long the climb, new rights will greet us, new mateship meet us, and joy complete us in our new dream time. To our fathers' fathers, the pain, the sorrow, to our children's children, the glad tomorrow. Thank you.
And now everyone will be singing Ella's song, music by Bernice Johnson Reagan, taken from a speech by civil rights activist Ella Baker, who said in her speech, "Until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest." All right, so we are going to be teaching you the chorus, and we will also be teaching you the chant that comes later on in the song. Asia will be singing the chorus, and then you will repeat it back to her just as beautifully as she sang it. I know you can do it. All right. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. All together now. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. One more time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Great job, great job. You sound amazing. Great job. Wow. Okay, now we will be teaching you the chant. So if you look up at the screen, it says, "We who believe," you're gonna say, "In freedom." And then we'll say, "We will not rest." And then you will say, "We will not rest." And it's gonna go something like this. We who believe in freedom, we will not rest. We will not rest. We who believe in freedom, we will not rest. We will not rest. We who believe in freedom, we will not rest. We will not rest. We who believe in freedom, we will not rest. We will not rest. Great job. So, at the end of this song, we will immediately be preparing to march over to the RFC. We are going to march right through this hallway, out this door, and down the sidewalk right here. That's what we said, right? This way. That's what we said, right? Yes. Right? Yes. So go ahead, get your coat on, grab your things. But first, together, we will be singing. Yeah, don't leave. First, together, we will be singing this song. All right, we will be singing the choruses, and we will invite you to join on the choruses. The Queen Singers and also the members of Voices of the Earth, who probably know this song, will join together on the verses, and you'll get it eventually. You'll just jump right in. So that's what we'll be doing, and then we'll end with the chant, and we'll end with the chorus again, and we'll all sing that together, and then we'll go ahead and march over to the RFC. Sound good?
We who believe in freedom will not rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Not needing to clutch for power,